Have you ever noticed how people change their behavior when they sense something special about you? It's not just in your head. When you're living your purpose with a unique and powerful energy, it can unsettle those around you. Whether it's your strong faith, your dedication to a worldview, your authenticity, or simply because you respect God, others can feel it, and often, they don't know how to react. This unique energy causes them to behave in odd and sometimes frustrating ways. They become uncomfortable, their behavior shifts, and you're left wondering why they can't just act normally. It's frustrating because all you want is to be yourself, walk your path, and live your truth. Yet, their reactions can be confusing and irritating. In this video, I'm going to reveal 6 specific behaviors that people display when they recognize that you've been chosen. These behaviors aren't random, they're clear signs of how your presence affects them. Stick with me as we explore these 6 annoying things people do, helping you understand why they react the way they do when they realize you've been chosen. This message has reached you because of your level of consciousness expansion. Nothing is by chance. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you continue receiving the messages the universe has for you. The first thing that often happens is people start offering you things for free. This can be surprising and uncomfortable. Imagine going out for a drink, and suddenly the bartender says, "The first round is on me," or attending an event where someone offers you VIP access without you even asking. This generosity might repeat itself in everyday situations, like shopping where store employees give you special discounts, or dining out when your meal is unexpectedly paid for. While these gestures may seem kind, they can leave you feeling confused, wondering why they're doing this and what you did to deserve it. This phenomenon happens because people sense something extraordinary in you. There's an aura, an energy that you radiate, which they might not fully understand but are drawn to. It's their way of trying to connect with you, to be part of your life, or to show appreciation for your unique presence. Think about it, ordinary people aren't often invited to exclusive parties or big events, and they usually don't even know such events are happening. But when you're recognized as special, people start offering these gestures and invitations. They talk about the best shows and events because they want to include you. They recognize that your presence is powerful and that you have something special going on as an individual. By keeping you informed, they feel they can align themselves with you and possibly share in your energy and unique opportunities. This kind of behavior can quickly become overwhelming. You may start to feel like people are going overboard, which is frustrating because all you really want is to be treated normally, without all the fuss and unsolicited generosity. They might say things like, "Don't worry, I'll cover the bill," or invite you to events, hoping to be remembered when you achieve success. While these actions stem from genuine admiration, they can also create excessive pressure and expectations. It's important to balance this delicately. Accepting these offers with gratitude can help build positive relationships, open doors, and create opportunities you wouldn't have otherwise. On the other hand, it's perfectly okay to politely decline if these gestures make you uncomfortable or seem to come with strings attached. The key is to stay authentic and firm. You don't owe anyone anything just because they offered you something for free. Accept or decline based on what feels right to you, not out of obligation. Remember, people are drawn to your energy because they see something valuable in you. Embrace that recognition and the positive attention, but establish clear boundaries to protect your comfort and autonomy. This way, you can navigate these interactions with grace and confidence, ensuring that your unique qualities are respected and appreciated without feeling overwhelmed by unsolicited generosity. The second thing people do, which can be quite annoying, is gravitate towards you when they realize you're special. You might not notice it at first, but when you exude that positive and unique energy, people are subconsciously drawn to you. It's like being a magnet. Wherever you go, you attract a crowd. Imagine walking into a room, and before you know it, 5 or 6 people are standing close to you. You start wondering, why are they so near me? It's because they sense that you're different, that you're special. Being truly chosen, you'll often find people flocking to your side as if they can't help it. It's like throwing bread into a field. At first, you don't see any birds, but as soon as the bread hits the ground, a flock swoops in, eager to get a piece. In the same way, people feel that just by being near you, they might get closer to something extraordinary. They see your aura, your inexplicable charisma, and they want to be part of it. It's as if they believe that simply being around you will bring them closer to something miraculous, similar to touching the hem of Jesus' garment, hoping for healing or a miracle. This constant crowding can be very irritating. You might think, hey, give me some space. What are you doing? People might try to touch you, invade your personal space, or just stand too close, making you uncomfortable. It can get to the point where you feel so overwhelmed that you consider moving just to find some peace. Biblical examples of this phenomenon are abundant. For instance, in Mark 5 verses 25 to 34, a woman who had been suffering from bleeding for 12 years touched Jesus' robe in the middle of a crowd, believing that just one touch could heal her, and indeed, she was healed. Another example can be found in Luke chapter 19, verses 1 to 10, where Zacchaeus climbed a tree to catch a glimpse of Jesus because the crowd was too large. Jesus noticed his effort and invited him to come down, leading to a significant moment in Zacchaeus' life. This kind of behavior clearly shows how people recognize your unique energy and want to connect with it as much as they can. They gather around you, invade your space, and try to stay as close as possible, believing that just your presence can somehow improve their lives. While this is a testament to your special aura, it also poses a challenge, managing constant attention without feeling overwhelmed. Another thing that often happens when people realize you've been chosen, though it may sound surprising, is that some individuals may become envious of you. This envy doesn't always have a clear reason, and often there is none. They simply feel jealous and start rejecting you just to boost their own self-esteem. This can happen with friends, acquaintances, or colleagues. Out of nowhere, someone who was once close to you might start acting distant or cold. It makes you wonder if you did something wrong, but the truth is, you didn't. Their rejection stems from insecurity and the need to feel superior by putting you down. This behavior is confusing and hurtful. One day, everything seems fine, and the next, they treat you as if you're beneath them. It appears that by rejecting you, they gain a sense of power and satisfaction. They feel validated when they make you question yourself, which temporarily boosts their confidence. It's especially frustrating because it's hard to understand why someone would act this way without any real provocation. We see similar patterns in the Bible, such as when Joseph's brothers were envious of him due to his dreams and the favor he received from his father. Their jealousy led them to sell him into slavery, Genesis 37. Another example is Saul's envy of David, which caused Saul to try to kill David multiple times, despite David's loyalty and service, 1 Samuel 18. These stories illustrate how envy can lead to irrational and harmful behavior. People who act like this often lack positive energy and become like energy vampires, draining others' positivity to feel better about their own lives. They recognize your bright aura, your angelic energy, and instead of being inspired, they feel threatened. Deep down, they know you possess something special that they don't. To cope with this disparity, they reject you, trying to bring you down to their level. They want to keep you for themselves, hoarding your light just for them. If they realize they can't control you, they'll intentionally try to hurt you, making you feel bad to diminish your spirit. This behavior is typical of narcissistic and deceitful people. It's all about manipulating energy to feel superior. They enjoy watching you stumble because it temporarily hides their own inadequacies. Ultimately, this rejection isn't about you, it's about them. It reflects their inability to handle your success and the unique light you bring to the world. Understanding this can help you navigate these painful interactions with grace and resilience, knowing that their rejection is merely a reflection of their own inner turmoil and not a measure of your worth. Another irritating behavior you might face when people recognize that you've been chosen is deliberate ignorance. Unlike direct rejection, ignoring you is a subtle but intentional act designed to undermine your confidence and self-worth. People go out of their way to make you feel invisible, and this is no accident. It's motivated by their own selfish interests, driven by insecurities and the need to feel superior. When someone chooses to ignore you, it's a competitive way of trying to diminish your light so they can feel better. They see your success, your hard work, and your bright future as threats. To deal with this, they act like you don't exist. They may ignore your messages, pretend to be busy when you're around, or fail to acknowledge your presence at social events. This behavior is rooted in envy and an attempt to bring you down. For example, a friend may follow your social media and know exactly what you're up to but never interact with your posts. They may hear about your achievements but act differently when you share your news. They meticulously plan their actions, and by the time you reach out to them, they've already decided not to respond, pretending to have more important things to do. All of this is a strategy to make you question your worth and the value of your accomplishments. It's a competition of energies. They try to match or surpass your positivity by leaving you feeling neglected and undervalued. At their core, they hope to create the illusion that their lives are just as busy, successful, or important as yours when in reality, they're just trying to shake your confidence. This deliberate ignorance is frustrating because it's so sneaky. You know they're aware of your presence and achievements, yet they choose to act otherwise. It's a calculated strategy to make you doubt yourself. For instance, you might see them posting on social media right after you tried to connect, blatantly ignoring your efforts while pretending to be busy with their own activities. These actions reveal their true intentions, to bring you down so they can feel superior. It's a toxic dynamic motivated by their inability to celebrate others' success without feeling threatened. Understanding this behavior for what it is can help you navigate these situations more effectively. Know that their ignorance reflects their insecurities, not your worth. Stay confident and true to your path, and you'll rise above these petty attempts to dim your light. The fifth irritating behavior that people exhibit when they recognize that you've been chosen is the constant bragging about their accomplishments. You'll notice that certain people feel the need to show off whenever they're around you. It's as if every conversation becomes an opportunity for them to flaunt their latest achievements. They might say things like, "I just bought a new car," or "I'm going to an exclusive event tonight." They share about their expensive purchases, the money they've made, or the high-status events they're attending. This constant boasting can be quite tiresome because you end up sitting there, forced to listen as they try to outshine you. Despite your efforts to be friendly and supportive, their need to compete with you is obvious. They seem determined to match your energy or even surpass it by constantly highlighting their own achievements. It's as if they believe that by doing so, they can reach your level. You may respond with genuine congratulations, trying to be polite and encouraging, but it seems that every interaction revolves around their need to prove something. The most frustrating part is that these people often seem disinterested in your achievements. As soon as you start sharing something positive about your life, they quickly change the subject or act as if they didn't hear you. They might pretend to be distracted by something else or respond indifferently. This behavior makes it clear that their goal isn't to have a mutual conversation, but to dominate the dialogue with their own achievements. Their constant bragging is a way of competing with you without openly admitting it. They don't want to acknowledge that they see you as special, so they try to overshadow you with their own stories. It's a subtle yet persistent form of competition, driven by insecurities and the need to be seen as equally successful or important. Understanding this can help you see why these interactions feel so draining and one-sided. It's not about you, it's about their need for validation by trying to overshadow your light. Finally, another frustrating behavior you'll encounter when people recognize that you've been chosen is being blamed for their own problems. This can be especially surprising when it comes from people close to you, like a partner, friend, or family member. When they face problems they can't solve or don't want to take responsibility for, they shift the blame onto you. For example, your partner might say, "It's your fault we're arguing," even though the argument had nothing to do with you. They might claim, "You made me wash the dishes," twisting the narrative to suggest that somehow you're responsible for their frustrations. This behavior arises from their difficulty in handling their own issues. Because you're a strong presence in their lives, it's easier for them to pin their problems on you. They see you as a scapegoat for their own failures and shortcomings. They may say things like, "We didn't get into the party because of you," or "We lost this opportunity because of you," even when the real reasons have nothing to do with you. They prefer not to admit that their own actions, or lack thereof, are the true cause of their problems. People who blame you for their issues are usually motivated by envy and insecurity. They see your success and the positivity in your life, and it bothers them because it highlights their own inadequacies. By blaming you, they try to undermine your confidence so they can feel better about themselves. This behavior is quite common in people who struggle with low self-esteem and need to put others down to feel better about themselves. In the Bible, we see similar examples, such as Joseph's brothers in Genesis, who blamed him out of envy and resentment, leading them to sell him into slavery. Their actions were motivated by their own insecurities and jealousy of Joseph's favored status and dreams. Blaming the chosen one is a way to avoid facing their own faults and mistakes. They might say things like, "You're the reason I didn't succeed," or "It's your fault I'm unhappy," to justify their lack of progress or satisfaction. Often, this blame doesn't have any logical basis. It's simply a way to deflect responsibility from their own actions. Recognizing this behavior can help you manage these interactions better. Understand that their blame reflects their own issues, not a true judgment of your actions. Maintaining your confidence and staying true to your path, despite their attempts to bring you down, is key to rising above this negativity.